next year. It'll also act as a tribute to Sundance founder Robert Redford, who died back in September.
Why did you move the door?
We saw her briefly in Superman. Now Supergirl takes a bow. The new trailer out today with Millie Alcock. Supergirl hits theaters June 26th. For CBS Entertainment, I'm Matt Wolf.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today.
Bringing humor, insight, and a voice of reason. Hey, it's Rick. Join me for the Rick Burgess Show on WGNS, weekdays 11 till 2.
We're the Good Neighbor Network. FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro. FM 100.5 Smyrna. Audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com. This is Rutherford Issues, hitting right at what matters most to all of us here in the heart of Tennessee. From Murfreesboro to Smyrna, Eagleville to Laverne, Leanna to Barfield, and everywhere in between. If it matters to you, you'll hear about it here on Rutherford Issues. Now your host, Brian Barrett.
Well, hey, hi, and hello there, fun lovers and truth seekers. Welcome in to Rutherford Issues from the Good Neighbor Network as we come to you from the Middle Tennessee Electric Studios. From Murfreesboro to Smyrna and across Rutherford County, trees and homes are lit for the holidays, and MTE is proud to power every twinkle. That's right, making memories. That's what it's all about this time of the year. Good energy starts with MTE. Certainly good to have you alongside. You got your business report. Dow up really big here this morning in the early going. And lots to chat about with you here this morning. As we State Representative Mike Sparks is going to hang around and be with us in the second half hour, a bit later on. So we'll have some of that conversation straight ahead. So be sure to hang in, stay with us as we have lots to do this morning. Part of that lots to do is to tell you about Hayden Young. Hayden is today's SRM Concrete. Hayden is today's Slick Pig Barbecue Birthday Club winner. That's right. Hayden has a birthday today, and his dad and the whole family called in to wish him a happy birthday. And lots of cool birthdays today. Gloria Christie of Shacklets Photography, it's her birthday, and Celeste Middleton, State Farm. So if you see any of these people, Danny Hopkins, I mean, we could just list everybody again, but if you see any of these folks, say, hey, I heard that it was your birthday. Happy birthday. They'll be surprised. It always seems to happen that way. It's like, wow, how did you know? Then you can spill the beans. Tell them you heard right here on WGNS. How about that? But Hayden gets to enjoy some banana pudding over at one of my very favorite places, Slick Pig Barbecue. Slick Pig is at 1920 East Main, open every Tuesday through Saturday. And Slick Pig has some wonderful banana pudding. I mean, wonderful banana pudding. So you'll want to make sure you stop in for that or get some desserts. I know you're going for the wings or the barbecue, but get some dessert. You will not be disappointed. That's for sure. Speaking of Gloria Christie, Gloria happens to be the SRM Concrete Good Neighbor of the Day today for her work in preserving the community's history and for being just a wonderful person. So if you see Gloria out and about, say happy birthday and happy good neighbor. She is a wonderful person, happens to be the birthday, happens to be celebrating a birthday today. So Gloria today will receive flowers for being our good neighbor of the day from Ryan Flowers Coffee and Gifts and WGNS Radio. Congrats to Gloria. You can send in your good neighbors by texting neighbor to 615-893-1450 or WGNSradio.com/good neighbor gets them here to us. Today's Good Neighbor brought to you by SRM Concrete, locally grown, nationally known, and standing with the people who make Rutherford County stronger every single day.
From driveways to highways, SRM Concrete has the right mix, on time, every time. Locally grown, nationally known, family owned and operated. SRM is the name you trust. SRM Concrete, you call, we haul.
Want to remind you of the Murfreesboro Christmas Parade. It is Sunday, and we are going to have coverage here for you of the Christmas Parade on Big G TV. Begins around 2 o'clock or so. You can watch live on Big G TV. Get out and see the parade. But after you get finished, you can come back and watch it, right? Or if you just can't get away, we will have an archive of it if you can't catch it live. Dalton and John will be anchoring. I'll be kind of roving up and down the sidelines, if you will. And we're going to bring you the sights and sounds of the Murfreesboro Christmas Parade. Thanks to our friends at Stewart's Creek Television for partnering with us to do all the really heavy lifting of that. And also, our coverage brought to you by Woodfin Funeral Chapels, Farm Bureau Insurance, Adam Tipton, Middle Tennessee Electric, and Kenneth Barrett for Sheriff. It's on Sunday. Don't miss the Murfreesboro Christmas Parade.
Now, here's your Rutherford weather forecast.
I'm going to send you outside, take a look at how things are shaping up in the out of doors. 37 degrees in Murfreesboro and Smyrna. Looks like we're at 38 here at our downtown studios. Here are your forecast details.
Well, Brian, it looks like we'll see mostly sunny skies here for this afternoon with a high in the mid-40s. Winds out of the west around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, we'll have mostly cloudy skies, a low near 34. Friday, sunshine, a high of 57 degrees. Then by Saturday, mostly sunny skies, a high around 49. Sunday, plenty of blue skies and sun, high around 25. Then for your day on Monday, sunshine, high around 41 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Thanks, Jennifer. And this is our Rutherford weather radar, not showing anything going on out here at this point. I do have our outlooks from the Weather Prediction Center pulled up. This is precipitation for the next 6 to 10 days. We're going to be near normal. Okay, near normal precipitation the next 15 days. Well, it looks like we could be near normal or maybe just a tad below normal in our precipitation. But now for the month, that takes us into the brand new year. Next 3 to 4 weeks, we have about a 4 in 10 chance of being above normal with our precipitation. Temperature-wise, it's going to get cold this weekend, but temperatures here for the next 6 to 10 days going to be warmer than normal. So after this cold spell, we're going to warm up considerably. Next 8 to 14 days, we have a very, very good chance of being above normal temperature-wise, and that's really for the entire country, if you can believe that or not. Yeah, it's just wild. The next month or so, the South is going to remain warmer. So that's what we've got for you. It's La Nina for you. So anyway, if it's not going to snow, it might as well be warm, right? That's a look at your Rutherford weather forecast, RutherfordWX.com, RutherfordWX.com. From our website there, we have links to all the social platforms that you can find Rutherford weather. You can also just search for RUCO weather, R-U-C-O weather, on those platforms. Help us out with our YouTube channel. We're getting close to hitting some milestones there, so if you'll go on there, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, that way you'll always be informed. You can watch it on the big TV in the living room when we've got impactful and severe weather. We're live on the channel. Facebook as well, good place to catch it. And we do a few posts every now and then, no more than once a week, if that. Just kind of telling you, hey, here's something to keep an eye out for on the week. Usually try to do that on the weekends, but you can find that on YouTube and on Facebook and X primarily. All right. Well, there you go. A check of your Rutherford weather forecast here from WGNS.
Good day, Rutherford County. This is Lee Colvin, financial advisor and CFP with Edward Jones. Let's get the latest business news from our financial desk.
Well, here in the very early going, the Dow jumps more than 400 points to a record as Oracle sparks rush out of the AI trade into the broader groups. And Disney making a $1 billion investment into OpenAI. The Dow up right now 474 points, 48,532. S&P is off 24, 6861. NASDAQ is down 250, 23,403.
From Wall Street to Church Street, that's the latest business news from the Edward Jones Financial Desk. I'm financial advisor and CFP Lee Colvin. Call 615-907-7056 or stop by our office on South Rutherford Boulevard in the Public Shopping Center.
Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Our coverage on Big G TV is brought to you by Murfreesboro Medical Clinic, improving community health for more than 7 decades. Clinic, providing accessible, cost-effective care from excellent physicians and advanced medical facilities. That is Murfreesboro Medical Clinic. World News coming up for you right now on WGNS.
CBS Radio News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by CVS Health.
I'm Steve Kathan. A federal judge has ordered the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a man who became the face of the government's immigration crackdown earlier this year. CBS's Camilo Montoya Galvez.
Abrego Garcia is, of course, the Salvadoran man who was wrongfully deported to his home country back in March as part of a U.S. deportation effort, despite the fact that he had an order of protection from being deported to his home country back during the first Trump administration in 2019. The Trump administration this time around acknowledged that it made a legal mistake in deporting him to that country, but for months it refused to bring him back.
Well, CBS's Nicole Skanga tells us the administration's now pitching expedited visas offering legal status and a path to citizenship at a price.
The Gold Card program was created for people who, quote, provide a substantial benefit to the United States. Applicants would pay a $15,000 processing fee, and once screened and approved, they would be required to make a $1 million gift to the United States. In exchange, their residency permits would be fast-tracked.
Health care is a focus in the U.S. Senate today, but CBS's Torian Small reports it might not amount to much.
Despite the fact that there are 2 dueling bills headed to the floor today for a vote, there is not consensus for either. Remember, this isn't just a simple majority needed in order for stuff to get done. There needs to be at least 60 votes to get something across the finish line. And lawmakers we talked to yesterday have said that the other side isn't listening, and ultimately that could cost Americans.
Some rivers are reaching historic levels in Washington state as heavy rain has sparked flooding.
Governor Bob Ferguson has declared a statewide emergency, warning as many as 100,000 people may have to move to higher ground. Jamal Beckham with Snohomish Regional Fire says they've already made several water rescues.
On most of our rescues, we've had people sitting on the hood or the roof of their car out here.
Floodwaters are rising in downtown Sultan, where TJ Council and his fellow employees were piling up sandbags outside Loggers Bar, which brags it never closes.
We've been in here shooting pool and hip waders drinking beer.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A day after the U.S. military seized a Venezuelan oil tanker, Venezuelan opposition leader and Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Corina Machado showed up in Oslo, Norway.
I don't think they have known where I have been, and certainly they would have done everything to stop me from coming here.
Disney is investing $1 billion in OpenAI and will bring characters like Mickey Mouse and Luke Skywalker to the AI company's video generation tool. Wall Street, right now the Dow is up more than 400 points. This is CBS News.
Through trusted relationships and national reach, CVS Health is uniquely positioned to simplify care. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The holidays were tricky for the Colonel. He loved people, but he also loved peace and quiet. So he cooked up KFC's $4.99 chicken pot pie. Warm, flaky, with savory sauce and vegetables. It's a tender, chicken-filled excuse to get some time to yourself and step away from decking the halls. Whatever that means. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC's Chicken Pot Pie. The best $4.99 you'll spend this season.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
In retirement, it's all about income. Your money, making money, and you're not spending down your principal. That's the way we do it at Retirement Income Solutions. So if you're spending down your principal or your money's not making money, keeping you ahead of inflation, check us out today at risolutions.net, risolutions.net. And make sure to join us Saturdays at noon and Sunday afternoons at 1 for Retirement Income Solutions Radio with Nathan Cox and Lindsay Cotter.
Do your sinus infections always seem to come back no matter what you do? The pressure builds, the headaches drag on, the congestion makes it hard to sleep, hard to focus, hard to feel like yourself. Here's what most people don't actually know. Sinus infections keep coming back because your sinuses can't fully drain. That's why the pressure, the headaches, and the congestion keep coming back time and time again. Balloon sinuplasty gently opens your sinuses in a quick, in-office procedure, so the infections can finally clear. At Murfreesboro Sinus Center, they've helped thousands of patients break free from the sinus infection cycle, so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and finally feel like yourself again. Don't wait another season fighting sinus pain. Call Murfreesboro Sinus Center today at 615-649-4590 to see if balloon sinuplasty is right for you. Call 615-649-4590. That's 615-649-4590.
Discover hidden treasures at the Garden Patch Thrift Shop on Spring Street in Murfreesboro. Whether you're searching for stylish clothing, sturdy furniture, or even large appliances, we've got them all at prices that you'll love. But here's the best part. 100% of your purchase supports Greenhouse Ministries, serving over 70 families a day. Your shopping dollars go straight back into the community, making a real impact. Shop smart and give back at the Garden Patch Thrift Shop on Spring Street in Murfreesboro.
Are you looking to buy or sell real estate? I'm Betsy Maples with Maples Realty and Auction, and we've been selling property in Middle Tennessee since 1969. Whether it be traditional listings, sales, or auctions, let us visit your property and help you decide what method is best for your situation. Call Maples Realty and Auction today, because it's our people that's the difference.
Maples Realty and Auction.
Shaping Rutherford County. Listen each weekday morning at 9 o'clock for the Roundtable here on News Radio WGNS. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Merry Christmas from all of us at News Radio WGNS. Rutherford Issues on News Radio WGNS.
Today we're talking with David and Maria Coggin, and we're talking about Barnabas Vision. David, what is coming up and what is most needed this time of year?
Good morning, Scott. This is one of our busiest time at Barnabas Vision as the temperatures get a lot cooler. We're trying to give away coats and blankets and trying to keep people in their homes and trying to get people into homes. And so one of our main project of the year is our Christmas program, where we give Christmas gifts so people can stay in their homes and don't get in debt by buying gifts.
What you guys have found out over the years is that a lot of families, instead of paying that utility bill that month, or instead of paying the full month's rent, they may instead go out and spend money on Christmas gifts. And I understand that. I mean, they've got kids.
That's correct. Or they will take a line of credit out, or take something to a pawn shop. And so 13 years ago, when we started this program, it was after my first year at Barnabas Vision, and in January, I just saw an increase of people in need. And one of that increase was because people beginning sentence was, I would have had the money, but I spent it on Christmas for my kids.
This need that's out there, it's definitely a big need, and people can sponsor an entire family.
Yes, they can. Kids or families, and several of them have siblings as well.
And we're talking about Barnabas Vision and helping out families in need. Maria Coggin is also with us. Maria, I know the big push right now is trying to get not only families involved in helping out other families, but also church small groups, civic organizations, and more. Tell us about this idea of helping out other families at Christmas.
When you help out another family at Christmas, what it means is providing gifts, sometimes just needs, but sometimes gifts too, so that children feel that they are loved, that they know that they were special, and they can experience the joy of Christmas.
And how are the gifts given? Do the families decide, okay, this one's going to be from mom, this one's going to be from dad? How do they go about deciding that?
Yes, we talk to the clients and get information on each child. So we'll know perhaps a child's favorite superhero, child's favorite TV show, or what they're good at school. And it's interesting, some of them are really wanting like STEM kits and things so that they can learn. Some of them want, the teenagers especially, are doing cosmetology at school, and they want like mannequin heads and scissors so that they can actually start working and getting paid and running their own business like when they're 17, 18 years old. And that's really helping families out. And that may be on their Christmas list too.
That's really cool then. So a lot of the kids, they've already got a direction that they're headed.
A lot of the parents I'm talking to, the schools seem to be doing really good now at installing, like, you don't have to go to college traditionally. You can get a job that you can work as you go through school.
And fewer people are going that trades route, but yet there is a huge demand in that trades field, especially cosmetology.
Yes, that's right. And so it is encouraging to see that these teenagers or their parents are asking for the gifts that are going to help them. It's not just a gift that they're just going to play with and throw away, but something they're going to really use.
So if somebody calls Barnabas, they stop by Barnabas and they say, I want to get involved in this Christmas program. I want to get involved in helping out another family. How do they do that?
If you want to help out, then really they can talk to me, and I'll just let them, they can let me know how much approximately they want to spend, and then I'll find a family or a child that I feel like would fit with them, that they may have some interests that overlap. And we like to do that so we build relationships with people.
And a lot of the families that are being helped out, some of them may live in an area motel, some may live in an apartment, some may rent a house, but they all come from different environments.
That's right. You know, some of these people are single moms, so their situation doesn't really change that much year from year, especially if they have preschool children. And even now, the older kids who, there's a lot of autism. Parents, it's hard for them to work because they have to keep going. Single moms especially, going into the school, and they can't keep a hold of the job. And so those ones keep coming back. Then there's other families who just maybe something bad happened this year, and they're not able to provide like they usually are. Then there's other families who they're just really low income, perhaps immigrant families who don't speak good English, and mom and dad are both working, but they're still not even making what I can imagine pays the rent.
I know one of the things that David mentioned that you guys do see is where a family will go and they'll borrow money. They'll maybe get one of those title loans, and next thing you know, they're paying this huge interest rate, and they're never actually paying back the initial loan.
That's right. It's really sad to see that people don't realize how much a loan costs them.
And they're getting in this kind of like a revolving door where they never get unstuck from it.
It's a cycle, and it's so hard to get out of. We try and help them, though. This year especially, we have said if we've helped you in the past, you have to go to the end of the waiting list, which unfortunately has meant we're not able to cover everybody. We still have like 5 families that need sponsors that we have the details, because we don't want to tell them we can help
until you can for sure.
And then we are going to take these others, but they're not going to get as many Christmas gifts, the ones that we've helped in the past. But we're hoping to try and get them into classes through this next year so that they're not in this situation again.
Are you finding that list of names continues to grow as the county grows?
Oh, yes. Yeah. As we get more immigrants into the county, especially in Smyrna, and we get more single moms, it just grows every year.
Unfortunately, I think that's a direction that really everywhere in the nation is headed. There's going to be more and more single parents out there. The divorce rate gets higher and higher.
Yes, I think that's like a major problem that we have because it costs more money for a single mom or a single dad to live because there's only one income. There's not two incomes.
Rutherford County is not immune to this growing problem.
No, it's not.
So to help out, if, let's say, a church small group wants to get together and they say, we want to sponsor 1 or 2 families this year, then you'll work with them, give them a list of the needed items, and then can they go above and beyond and say, well, we also would like to get this family XYZ, whatever that may be?
Yes, they can. We like each child to be sponsored about $200 worth, but if somebody wants to buy the bike or wants to pay the electric bill that month, there's ways that they can go about doing that for those families.
That's really cool. So if they say, hey, we'd also like to pay their utility bill this upcoming month, this upcoming bill, then you can arrange for that to happen too. And the family that receives these gifts, do they ever know who it came from?
Usually they don't know who it came from unless they ask.
Okay.
And usually they'll send thank you notes, perhaps, but it's like generic. It's not necessarily to the one person. Now, if a group wants to get involved, we have life clients that we do pair people with, and we're looking for mentors and things for them for the whole year. Those life clients know who gave them gifts.
Another neat aspect, I guess, is that this also allows that single mom or single dad in some cases to kind of preserve some of their dignity. It allows them to be a dad, to be a mom, and provide that Christmas for their child.
Yeah. In fact, I have a grandmother who came in a couple of weeks ago. She had to have knee surgery, so she was off work. She's raising her 2 grandchildren. And the children are not going to know that the Christmas gifts came from the Barnabas Vision. She's going to come pick them up. She's going to give them to them. They're not going to know it wasn't from her, which is good for her. So she feels like she's still providing for them.
That's awesome. When you look at and meet with these different families, I'm sure it's stories like that, a knee surgery that lays somebody off of work for an extended period of time, but it's one circumstance. It's often one event that turns somebody or turns a family's life upside down.
That's right. And once, because of the knee surgery, she couldn't work for 2 or 3 months. Now she's back working, but she's spent all her savings. She's just keeping the lights on, and so Christmas was not even an option for her.
How often do you run across families where they're one bill away from maybe losing the place where they live?
Quite often. It's hard because once you get into that debt, it costs more. Like we were talking about the lien, the interest costs more money to pay back than to pay your bills on time.
Even some homeowners are having some big financial problems right now because the typical mortgage, you're looking at $2,500 a month for a house that's 2,000 square feet or less today.
Yeah, that's right. And even if they're in this situation and they're trying to sell the houses aren't selling, and they're definitely not selling for what they bought them for. So it's a cycle that's really hard.
It's a different time that we live in. I mean, when you even look back, comparing it to 10 or 15 years ago, much different financial situation today versus then.
It definitely is, yeah.
Again, David and Maria Coggin are with us today from Barnabas Vision. If anybody does want to help out, if they do want to sponsor a family, what's the first thing they need to do?
Contact the Barnabas Vision. Email David at thebarnabasvision.org, and he'll put them in contact with me. I'll give them a phone call. When you email him with your number, and then I will give them a phone call back.
And, of course, all the information's online at thebarnabasvision.org. And the timeline that you're working with, you need to have these families, the gifts, everything in place by when?
Well, giveaway is December 18th. And so for the children that we've already told we're going to sponsor, we really would like the gifts in by the 17th. For our waiting list, our emergency, we will be giving them out until the 21st, 22nd of December. So if it's the last minute, we can still work with people on that.
So head to thebarnabasvision.org for all the contact information, thebarnabasvision.org. Let them know you want to help out. Again, David and Maria Coggin with us this morning from Barnabas Vision.
Craig Buckner with Mills Family Pharmacy.
Many medications for our animals have to be compounded, and we offer that here at Mills Family Pharmacy.
Mills Family Pharmacy offers a wide range of compounding.
Special for you, your loved ones, or for your pets.
Learn more at millsfamilypharmacy.com.
Thank you for allowing us to be your local pharmacy. We're at 2994 South Church Street, next to Toots.
Mills Family Pharmacy, dedicated to providing customers with services to meet their needs.
It's the most magical day of the year, and you can watch it all live. Big G TV is where Christmas comes to life with coverage of the Murfreesboro Parade, Sunday, December 14th at 2 p.m. Brought to you by Kenneth Barrett for Sheriff, Middle Tennessee Electric, Farm Bureau Insurance, and Woodfin Funeral Chapels. See every float, every smile, and the moment Santa arrives on Big G TV. Streaming at wgnsradio.com/parade.
Whether it's a cough, a fever, or something you can't quite name, MMC Now makes care easy. Walk right in, get seen quickly, and your visit connects directly to your MMC doctor. Care you trust, with providers you know, with digital check-in and multiple locations around town. MMC Now is here when you need us.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic.
Merry Christmas from all of us at News Radio WGNS. Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Rutherford Issues is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. Santa's on his way, and MTE is making sure every porch light and Christmas tree shines for the big night. Cozy homes, happy hearts, and good energy from Middle Tennessee Electric. State Representative Mike Sparks joins me here in studio today. And Mike, you just must be making the media tour today.
Must be with Dr. Krause. What a great guy. Isn't he just an awesome guy?
Yeah, I don't know why he has you on.
I know. Well, he was my professor years ago.
What do you mean years ago? It's not like he was your professor like 30 years ago.
Nah. Great guy, though. Did
you get an A?
You know, I think I did. I was in the middle of a campaign. I said, look, I'm probably going to have to miss a little bit. He said, man, just come on, we'll make it work. But one thing about Dr. Krause, this is what's so cool about having somebody like that as an instructor. He's really being a mentor for these young students, which is critical today with the breakdown of the family, the breakdown of, a lot of lack of fathers, if you will. But he'll take the students all to dinner, all to lunch. And
every time?
Well, I think per class,
year.
per class, and but it brings folks together. And I tell you, I don't know if he may not want me to share this on the radio, but I will. This guy's even bought some homes and financed it to former students or current students who could afford to make it work. Talk about thinking outside the box and being creative. He's the real deal. And what's sad, though, when these guys age out and they retire and they move on, like I say, we're stuck with the next generation that I don't think we have the wisdom and discernment that his generation has.
Oh, so you're poo-pooing on the next generation.
I'm just saying, but where do we find that wisdom? We find it from their generation that gets handed down to us. And
if you're looking for it.
Yeah, and I think we have to think outside the box, think critically. I just got a group text, we're trying to do this a potential interchange on I-24 at Rocky Fork Road, and I know it means a lot to Mayor Reed and the town council, and to help us deal with some of the growth. And it's going to be a challenging project. I was with TDOT last week, and I can just see it. I can see they're reluctant. They don't feel like it's regional enough. And we're also going to have to deal with the Federal Highway Administration because, there's Amelville Road there's San Bernardino Parkway, and they're going to argue it's too close to the Amelville project, so they want to put all the resources at Ammoville. But anybody that's traveled Ammoville Road at I-24 realizes how critical that is. I mean, we've got the largest
So what's going on at Ammoville?
Well, they're going to eventually widen all that. Ammoville Road, where it comes through the...
So like 30 years.
Well, I mean, the thing about it, road projects just take so long, and that's what I brought up, trying to fast track some of this with TDOT last week in our annual meeting at their headquarters, Region 3 headquarters, to should we bond some projects? I mean, bonding projects, that's a big no-no. I mean, with the state of Tennessee, but like I was telling them, I bought my first house at 22. I couldn't save cash and pay for that home at 22. My wife was 19. Luckily, I had a father that let me pay him on a car, my 68 Camaro that I sold, and used that money for the down payment because the car was paid for by the time I was 22. So that was a forced savings account, if you will. And like I went to the governor this year trying to get him to veto that predatory lending bill. And we got talking about the fatherless and mentorships. And, I had a resolution, some legislation trying to bring awareness to it. And I said, Governor, you wouldn't be the governor if it wasn't for having a father in your life, would you? And he looked at me like, huh? Because I was telling him about my dad instilling values about don't borrow money. Don't borrow money. But when you're a young person, you have to borrow money. But going back on TDOT, to me, if we'd have bonded projects pre-COVID, I mean, the cost have escalated so much with concrete, asphalt, steel. And to me, let's explore some projects that
those prices will go down in 10 years, though, right?
Well, I know it's still out there.
I'm being facetious.
With tariffs and all. But, people blame everything on COVID, and maybe COVID is responsible for some things, whether it's, some mental health areas and inflation, with the stimulus and whatnot. But I just think we got to think critically and think outside the box and getting that interchange. And shout out to Robert Stevens for helping, put a nice letter to the governor about this. But, I think it's going to take Marsha Blackburn or the next governor, I should say, whoever that may be, to try to get that project underway. Because Jefferson Pike, like I was telling TDOT, it should have been widened 20 years ago because I worked at Nissan. Many of your listeners worked at Nissan. A lot of us, a lot of my guys and gals I worked with, retired the past couple of years. But if that road was shut down, because, I had two businesses on there, I had my car business and the salon there. If it was shut down, Nissan could not start up. Nissan would not start up. The first snow we got, the first sleet we got, you always pretty much had an accident. It was a dump truck or it was a car. And it was hard to back up and go up 840 Mercer Road. It used to be $62,000 a minute. And it's probably $200,000 a minute now. So I was just telling them to develop like a metric system, a plan to where critical projects like Jefferson Pike, that's an economic driver like Nissan, those projects should be singled out and potentially bonded if we can, because the pay-as-you-go model, it may be a little antiquated, and I may get in trouble for saying that. People may not like that idea.
Dave Ramsey's, upset with you now.
Well, probably, but Dave was my customer. He called me a few times and emailed me. I got the email to prove it. Said, Mike, I always hear you're the man of car deals, and I was good. I was good at cars, ain't no doubt. But Dave used to say, if some of these older folks are listening, I was in Sunday school with Dave at Christ Church.
Dave Ramsey?
Yeah, he used to say, pay cash for a home. Years ago, he would say that. They've been doing that show for a long time. But how do you pay cash for a home? How would you do that today? Young people. So that's why, I like Charles Jones, 95-year-old Mr. Charles Jones and Dr. Krause, because Mr. Jones is willing to, if anybody's got property out there, he's willing to buy the property, set up like a workforce housing where, say it's condos or apartments, and that renter that stayed there for 5 years, 6 years, whatever, would build up a nest egg, and at the end of the 5 years or 6 years or 4 years, whatever it is, they would come away with some equity. He's doing this as a philanthropic type idea, and he did this. He bought a house from us years ago for $140, sold it to Brenda Bryant, the African-American minister in Laverne, and it closed out. She closed it out last year at $350. So this dude's a real deal. He's not just talking hype. He owned Hickory Hollow Mall, sold it, made some good money. Real estate investor, traveled down Jefferson Pike before Seward Air Force Base was there, grew up at Old Jefferson. Many people have heard me tell this story, but I'm going to try. My goal is to have him come to the Capitol, meet with the governor. I was telling the governor's wife about the guy the day at the Christmas party the other night, and have him meet with the speaker, have him meet with THDA, which I already have, to start thinking creatively. Now, is it going to solve the world's problem? Probably not, but it may help, 200 young people out there. Or like Dr. Krause. Yeah, he's not saving the world, but he probably helped one young couple. Because all this wealth that some of these people have, you can't take this stuff with you. You can't take it with you. You might as well start planting seeds now.
Let me ask you this about that Rocky Fork interchange. I think about Murfreesboro and several years ago, Medical Center Parkway and that exit that came about. Now it's one of the busiest that we have along I-24 in there. Is the Rocky Fork needed for traffic congestion, or is it another way to create Sam Ridley Parkway Part 2 in terms of businesses and things like that?
Well, that you raise a good point. And by the way, I know you've been advocating for widening a Thompson Lane. I mean, you've been, well,
I don't know that
complaining, advocating,
They just need a traffic light.
They did mention Thompson Lane.
It's supposed to start next year, right?
In the meeting, they mentioned it. Well, I texted the liaison. Let's see if he got back with me, because I seen him at the governor's residence. He come up to me. I got to meet his new boss. Only been there about a month, but I don't think he's. Yeah, he hadn't texted me back yet. I'm asking for an update. But anyways, but you need advocates. But I don't really see that. I don't really see it solving the congestion that we're facing on I-24, and that's what I think their argument is. It's not regional enough. But if you look at the forecast, I talked to a guy the other day, and I asked him if I can share his quote. And now I want to share it verbatim. I don't want to miss him. I said I took him to lunch the other day. David Santucci, the town manager of Smyrna, great guy, very, very nice fella. I think he's very effective. And I said, man, what keeps you up at night? He kind of looked at me, because not many people probably ask him that question. Now, what keeps you up at night? And here's his quote, because I didn't want to take him out of context. I said, man, it's okay if I share this with you, or share it online, on the radio. He says, ensuring the town continues to invest in infrastructure to keep pace with new development. He said, Mike, we got 10,000 units out there that's already approved. 10,000.
The Rocky Fork area?
No, in Smyrna in general. Okay. And much of it is that area right there. Yeah. But I did meet with John Lee recently. I don't think he'd have a problem. He owns a lot of that. But he had lunch. He's friends with Marsha Blackburn. And, we've had Marsha on the air last year. I think she's fixing to come up with us the next few weeks. And he's a big advocate for this. And he just had dinner with her. I think she lives a couple blocks from him. So you got people advocating, but I think it's going to take the next governor to really move the lever to get TDOT fired up to get this done. So shout out to my fellow legislators, Robert Stevens and Tim Rudd and Brian Terry and others, Charlie Baum, to try to get this done.
Real quick, the frustration and the thing I hear from a lot of people who are talking about the infrastructure needs and building roads is, why are we approving 10,000 new homes when we don't have the infrastructure? Yeah. Shouldn't the infrastructure come first, or should that not be a part of the project even?
Well, I think it's a chicken and egg. Which one's coming first? That's a question for your people on planning committee. I served on Smyrna planning committee for 10 years. I was late Mayor Bob Spivey. So I guess, he assigned me. I was his guy on there, and me and Bob disagreed a lot. Not a lot, but Bob was a good guy. He was just like Donald Trump, to be honest with you, but a little bit more of a gentleman. Not to say Trump's not a gentleman, but he was a little bit more of. But he was a take charge kind of guy, no doubt. And you hear this about it, and we do have to invest in infrastructure, no doubt, but we can't keep pace. And that's what I was telling the commissioner the other day. We're growing so fast that we're like somebody running so fast they're tripping over themselves. And the choice lanes, I don't think is a cure all. I've been traveling to Nashville on Mercer Road, giving that nurse a ride. And what I see with Metro, I brought this up to not only TDO to TDOT, but also Department of Safety with Commissioner Jeff Long over the troopers, that You call Metro Police from Laverne to Nashville. If folks hadn't ever traveled this, well, don't travel if you can avoid it. Try to. But I was giving her a ride to Una. You know, Suzanne, her son got killed in a car wreck years ago, and I had to be the one to call her. So she's kind of close with us. But I watch people driving in the center lane. I've seen somebody doing donuts, in front of oncoming traffic. Dirt bikes out there. Scooters. I didn't realize scooters could go that fast. Little scooters just run up, no helmets. I tried to call Metro Police just to see if they'd get an officer, a unit just to be in the center lane. And they did. I will say they did, but you couldn't get them. You couldn't get a live person on the phone. 862-8600. Call them if somebody wants to challenge me. Call them and you're going to be put on hold. So I asked for some more troopers out there, and they did get some troopers patrolling. But that traffic now is almost to Laverne all the way to Una. All the way to Una there. Nashville, I got delayed the other day. Had to get reroute on Mercer Road. Coming back took me 2 hours. Literally about 3 hours. Even Representative Tim Rudd, I was asking him, he ends up taking, he gave me a quote. I asked him for a quote on this because I was working on something a while back. He said, I'm 33 miles away. It takes me 90 minutes in the AM, 90 minutes in the PM, another half hour if there's accidents. Tammy, that's the clerk in Nashville, her and I were talking about this. She's been traveling for 30 years. Tammy Letzer. She goes down 65. She don't even take I-24. So the areas, the solution is not choice lanes. It's a part of the solution, but there used to be a van. I brought this up to her. If they still, I don't think they do anymore. There used to be a van where a state employee would pick up employees and they'd ride in the van. Someone was responsible for the van. She said, I think that got taken away because of WeGo. I said, but who wants to ride WeGo, the mass transit bus system, when you have violence at the bus station? I was out there one day talking to the trooper when I'm pulling out, and he goes, hold on. And he takes off running after a guy that's got a gun on him, and he tripped, and William Bennett, great guy, and he cut his hand, tore up his uniform. But it's just, man, the challenges are enormous. And that's what I was saying with Dr. Krause. When you see this little petty stuff locally, people fighting over stupid stuff, and they're not talking about problem solving. The problems are enormous. And I worry about my because you got a grandbaby. Mm-hmm. What's your grandbaby's name?
Lena.
Don't you think you look at life a little different since you got a grandbaby now?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You start worrying about your grandkids. You start thinking, are they going to afford housing? Is there going to be crime? What's school's going to be like? True.
There's all of that for sure. Well, I guess we've done enough to try to solve the world's problems.
But they are talking about Tom Selene, so I know, and you've been I got to give you credit. You've been a big advocate, and that goes back to the Good Neighbor Station. You're not looking for division and chaos and people fighting. You're actively looking for solutions, and that's what Dr. Krause says about next year. The legislature's not the way to solve problems. Yeah, we're a tool in the toolbox to help, but the community, the faith-based community, is really the way to start, whether it's drug addiction, whether it's mental health, whether it's helping somebody, whether it's a food bank.
Yeah.
Get more involved in the community. So shout out to y'all for what you're doing.
Thanks, Mike. Conversations with Mike Sparks on Sunday evenings at 5 o'clock, unless we've got ball games, which I don't think is a problem this week. So,
right.
But regardless of that, hope you will stay tuned. We've got more conversation straight ahead here on WGNS. Have a good day out there, everybody.
Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home has served Murfreesboro families with compassion and care since 1880. As a family-owned funeral home, we're committed to honoring every life with dignity.
Subscribe to Big G TV, local content that matters to Rutherford County.